Your side, we're together. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are doing great and staying well. Yes, there is something special tomorrow. Yes, International Mother Language Day. And we have a great language educator with us, Ms.Sumaira Hussain. She is going to talk about the importance of language in learning processes. Yes, we do agree that language is a tool which helps us to make the sense of the world. And Sumaira is not only a great IB educator, but she's a trained English educator as well. She is an online instructor. She is a certified cell phone journalist, and Sumaira is going to talk about some very practical ways to make your classrooms more effective, to make your classroom teaching more efficacious. So we can't wait to hear from you, Sumaira. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Sumaira Hussain. She is joining us from India, and she has lived here in Bangladesh as well. She belongs to Kolkata, and yes, good to go, Sumaira.
To be here. I'm really very excited and equally nervous because I'm not much into webinar person and all. I told you earlier as well. We were having a discussion on this, but I'm really very excited and very honored that you have invited me for this. And yes, I'm very excited to go ahead with this. Let's see. So, a big hi and big welcome to everyone who's watching. A big hi from my side. I hope everyone, I cannot see the viewers, but okay. I want to start with an just a fun activity. So, if anyone is live, can you just ping me and say hi?
We, yeah, we have Nigah from Vietnam. She has just written excited feeling from Vietnam. So I can see only one viewer. So you can
Yes,
post the icebreaker that you have, and then
yes,
let's
yes.
see if she
Sure.
responds.
Okay, hi. Okay, okay, we'll continue with this. Okay, I'm going to start with an activity which I generally love to do. It's about a game that we do, and it's alliterative. So I want everyone, whoever is watching, to just type your name, and just before your name adds an alliteration or an adjective that describes you with the same letter of the name you have. Like I'll describe myself first. Hi, this is Spirited Sumera is overwhelmed and excited to be at Miss Astounding Asnaha Farhin show. So I'm really loving that. And thank you. So can you please type? And I want to see what are the responses because I want lively audience. Yes, I can say Naga. Naga, can you please type if you're watching and if you're hearing me? Anything that starts with N, you can just write. Maybe. Okay.
Just repeat the question once, Sumera. We
Yes,
have
I would like to say yes. Good evening. Yes, we are just starting with a icebreaker activity where I'm asking everyone to add an adjective before your name that starts with the same alphabet of the name you have, and it's like an alliterative adjective game we are playing. So can you please just type your name and just before that put an adjective that start with the same alphabet as you have. Like I am saying once again, I say this is Spirited Sumera. Well, is excited to be in astounding Asnaha Farhin shows. Okay, and every time I'm going to change the adjective. So next time I'm going to be maybe silly Sumera, and it's going to be awesome Asnaha Farhin.
all
So we'll
right.
play
So
with
this
this.
is ambitious Asna Fareen, and I'm really, really happy to have what should I say, spicy Sumara with me.
Okay, thank you.
Superb Sumara with me. All right.
Thank
So
you.
uh,
Yes.
we have
Shall we
five
go ahead?
live audience. So audience, please.
Please,
Uh,
audience, respond. I
just add
want to
an
know.
adjective that starts with the first letter of your name and let us know that who are you. Like that should encompass yourself.
Please
So just
define yourself with the game. Yes. Hello, Yasin Khan. Greetings. Hi. Can you please describe yourself with the adjective starting with Y? Okay.
people are taking time. So we are looking for your introduction with the first letter of your name. Just find any adjective and let us know.
Have an
For
alliteration
example,
because that
yeah,
is what,
yeah.
yes.
Miss Sumaira is expecting alliteration.
Okay.
No answers. They're feeling shy or what, or just thinking.
They're
So it's a
still
good prompt.
wondering.
They're taking time.
Okay. Shall we start talking? Okay, it's all
Yeah, yeah,
greetings.
yeah. It's
Shall
all
we go
greetings.
ahead?
Yeah.
Yes, it's all the okay, we'll start with it. So, okay, I would like to begin by wishing everyone in advance a very happy Mother's International Language Day. So, we know that language is a very essential part of our life. From birth till death, we are using languages and we are every time evolving with the languages. Because after a child, after a child gets born or after his birth, he picks up the language we know from the sounds, from the words he hears. But later on he starts learning the language rules and conventions, which he finally begins to use it in everyday life with the rules and the conventions, and that helps him developing his metacognition. That is, his thinking and learning process goes on. So we can say thinking, learning, and language is always interrelated. So this is how we are going to begin about the language part. Am I good to go? Shall I go ahead? Still continue? Great, I will go on. So basically, when a child is born, the kind of the language that he actually picks up is the first, the mother tongue we say, or the native language. So now native language has always the benefits. I always tell everyone that we should put a lot of emphasis on the native languages, and it is very easy to build other languages or the acquired languages based on the native language, because this remains the base of any person's language picking ability. So whenever a child is coming to school, let's get into this schooling mode. So whenever a child is coming to school, he basically comes with the idea of the language that is his native language, whatever he has done. And when we are introducing another language, especially in class of English, whenever I'm an English teacher, so English becomes the second language, and that becomes the acquired language for the child. So when we are starting with the acquired language, it's very essential that we connect with the native language and start developing based on that, so that the child can make connection with it and is ready to apply it in its day to day life. So that again remains, the acquired language remains again a challenge for the second language teacher, because yes, it is not always very easy to use it and bring it to the child's ability. But again, we cannot negate the importance of language in our day-to-day life. So be it any language, there are various importance apart from linguistic and communication. It helps us in various other things, which I'm going to right now present it to everyone. So I think more viewers have come. I'll start sharing my
Would you like
screen.
to try that icebreaker again? Because now I think we have people, they are responding as well. So just say it again, give an example. That is nice
Okay.
to know.
Okay. So before I go ahead with my presentation, would you like to describe yourself with the same alphabet with as the name of your starts? So that we can have an alliterative name. Like if your name starts with N, so add an adjective before your name that starts with N. Yes. Hello.
For
Yes. It's all.
example, sizzling Sumaira or adorable Asna. Okay, ambitious
Yes.
Asna.
Yes, we have so many adjectives to add.
Yeah,
So let's be creative. Let's have some fun.
come on, add an adjective and let us know who are you.
I don't
It's
want to
a
sound boring and giving all lectures. So let's have some fun. This is how it should be.
Yeah, we got one. Nice Nusrat. Great
Yes, I
Nusrat.
love it. Well
Yes,
done. Yes, nice Nusrat.
yes.
Yes, that's a big
Welcome,
one.
nice Nusrat. We are so
Yes.
happy to have you. You're
Yes,
so
I
courageous.
like that. Yes, like that spirit. It has to be from both sides. Please, I
Yes,
welcome
yes.
someone else to
Miss-
repeat also. And
Mr.
I
Yasin, Mr. Shams, Otelia, and Naga. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Just let us know. Add an adjective with your name and let us know who are you. Nusrat has just tried. She wrote nice Nusrat and it's amazing.
Yeah, she's the pioneer in this. I love that. Yes. Okay. I'm glad to join the session. So are we. We welcome you on board. Thank you for joining. Yes. Okay, it's the same message repeating. I think I shall go ahead with my presentation.
Yeah,
Okay, great
get
to know
going.
you, Naga.
We have
Yeah,
yummy.
yes. This is creative. I told you it's fun because such things will come up, as a response. So I loved it. Yes, welcome, Yummy Yasin. I'm sure you're really very yummy and delicious. So I love that. Okay. Yes. I'm awaiting more response. Let's see. Yes, be creative. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Naga. I'm sure you are very adorable too. Okay.
Yeah, let's get started. I think they'll
All
keep
right.
on.
So as I was starting about the
Yeah.
language part, yes. So I'm going to start sharing a bit presentation. I don't want to sound, too boring, and I don't want to make it so lengthy. I'm not here to give lecture because we are all learning and sharing from each other, and that's what I believe in. I'm still in my learning journey. I'm still growing each day. So please bear with me. And I'm just here to share some of the experiences I have experienced in my life so far, and I have practiced some of the things which I think will really help everyone if they are going to try it. And it's all trial and an error method because each day we are learning. So let's go ahead with. Okay, I'll start sharing my screen. I hope I am visible.
It's
Okay,
yet.
so yes. So I'm going to. I'm think yes. I think my screen is visible now.
Yeah, it's visible. Please go
Yes.
ahead.
So we are, studying about the language. So be it mother tongue or an acquired language, I'm going to share some of the basic tips. I think it's going to help not only the IB learners because I have, been in both the waters. So, and I think, even the non-IB teachers can implement it. Even the ESL teachers and even other language teachers can equally implement it in their classroom and see the result and then let us know later on how it goes. So basically, if you see the importance of language in our life, as I was talking, yes, it helps to not only build our communication, linguistic, and cognitive skills, but it actually enhances a child's thinking process. As I was saying, the problem solving skills are developed. A child learns to develop his verbal skills and, of course, the memory function along with creative thinking and flexible thinking, because a child is coming with a set of words which he has only heard, but when he actually starts the picking up in a very formal and in a grammatical way, so it begins to take up shape of the thinking process, and he begins to think and then express it in terms of his learning. All right, so that is very important. So whether be it native language or be it an acquired language, these are the benefits we are getting. So no communication, no thinking process, I believe, can take place without the language. So that way, in that way, language is so important. Now the part comes when a child actually comes to school. What are the things we need to focus on to build his language skills? So the basic thing, yes, we generally, everyone everywhere, we actually focus on developing the reading, writing, and speaking skills. That is traditionally we do. We make a child read, we make them write, we make them speak. But I have often seen even that listening and viewing and presenting helps to a greater extent, and we tend to negate it. We generally do that. We give them comprehensions, okay, read and write. We give them, okay, we tell them to speak in a particular language, excuse me, like English. Maybe we ask them to speak in English language, But the listening, how will a person speak until and unless a child listens? So the listening part has to be very important, and listening doesn't take place only when the teacher is only talking to the child in English, or the environment is being given. Listening can happen if you are playing a nice musical audio in class as well, because the child is picking up the language from there. Even if you are showing him a movie clip that he loves to watch, just a movie clip you start with and show him, and you say that, okay, this is what, even that is helping him listening, and then when he's speaking, he's interpreting it. It's equally helping him out. Similarly, for viewing and presenting, yes, we can say the PPTs that children present, we encourage them to do so. Viewing and presenting their graph, their pie chart, everything comes under the one umbrella of communication and expression, where the child is actually learning to express himself through the language that he has learned, be it his mother tongue, be it his acquired language. Okay, anything else? Now the question comes, like the next part, I would say that is very important. Now, when you want to actually develop a language skills, I have always believed, the desire, the need to learn should be aroused in children. That is very important, because I always believe in one phrase that if you can take a horse to the fountain, but you can never make him drink water. And this is something, I guess, it's applicable for all of us, even for we adults as human beings. You cannot actually make us learn and practice something if we are not interested in. So the biggest challenge for a teacher remains when the desire or the need to learn or to know more has to be aroused. So the hunger for more has to be actually aroused by the teacher. So that is where I think we come as a person, where we are actually facilitating the learning and not teaching. Because teaching becomes again very pressurizing and imposing. When you're telling a child, yes, you have to learn this, you read it, I'm telling you this, that becomes again very imposing. But if you're arousing the curiosity, that creates a room for the child to learn more and to create the hunger to know more. So that's where we are facilitating. So how do we can generally create that learning curiosity, instead of going and writing on the board, okay, today we are going to learn adjectives, or today we are going to learn adverbs, this is our next grammar chapter. Show or arouse or connect with something with which he has already the prior knowledge is present. Maybe it can be connected to his native language as well. You can use the flashcards, the realia, some video clips connected with it. Like, I'll give you an example. I was in one of my inquiry. It was how the world works, and it was about the solar system. We were actually doing the UI was about the solar system thing, but I had to incorporate, obviously, integrate and incorporate English part. So I remember I started with a game. So it was a very nice game. I divided the children into two circles. The inner circle was asked to name an object, and the outer circle was asked to describe the object. And children were spontaneously describing without knowing that they were actually using adjectives. So one child said pencil, another one said it's sharp. So they described sharp pencil. Then in another instance, another one was saying pen. So another one is saying red. So it becomes red pen. So they were going on describing it without knowing that actually they were using adjectives. And then that had to be connected with it, that yes, what you were actually describing. So that the ambience for eagerness to learn has to come. All right. So I'll move on to the next part. Now, once the eagerness has come, my next challenge remains as a teacher, what are my learning goals? What am I supposed to do as a teacher? Where do I want to reach? So we have to keep in mind, in case of language acquisition, being an English teacher myself, of course, my goals always remain to develop the knowledge about the topic. The cognitive skills has to be developed, leading to effective skills development, where the child can express his feelings in the same language, develop the attitudes towards it, the right positive attitude, and use it among friends and relatives and in their surroundings. That is, the interpersonal or social skills needs to be developed. So my role or my goal gets accomplished when all these three skills are actually properly developed in a child. So this remains my goals. Now, once the goal has been chalked out, the next part we have to think is the strategies. How can we actually develop strategies where we can really make learning effective? Now, this is something I will say that generally in IB we use the inquiry method. We all know that in inquiry method we are going for all the circles all the inquiry method, which I don't want to say now. So we know that, tuning in and, finding out, and this is how we are going. So the circle becomes
Naira, excuse
yes.
me. If you can explain this particular cycle, because there are teachers, those who are non-IB. So as IB educators, we are familiar with the inquiry pedagogy, but there
Hmm.
are teachers, those who are new. So you can just explain that there are various inquiry cycles, and
Hmm.
this is one of those, and how to
Yes.
use it.
Yes,
Thank
I'm coming to this. This is something that I want to use because traditionally we are using the inquiry circle, which is tuning in, finding out, sorting out, going further, making conclusions, and of course the reflection part coming, the connections. But over here, this is the strategies is that I am using. This is for the non-IB teachers as well, and I'm going to explain them in detail. This because the IB teachers are already using the inquiry method, but what about the non-IB teachers? Like being me myself being a non-IB teacher, I have seen how traditional teaching actually takes place. So, in order to make the traditional teaching engaging as well as interesting, I think these are the interest strategies we can always adopt. And I am going to just give you an example through this. The first thing that comes is the engagement, which we actually I just decided that I just clarified about the eagerness to learn, the creating the right ambience where a child is really inquisitive, more curious about the subject, and looks forward, learning about it more. So that engagement part has to come first. Second is the exploring part. Now here comes a role where we traditionally tend to give the rules to the children. When it comes to grammatical rules, maybe, we are just giving out, okay, this is what happens. It's like maths, the formulas are given, so this is how it goes. Instead of we giving it out, let the child explore more about it. Let him find out more about it, so that he learns and he can share it with the others in the classroom. As I say, like, peer sharing, peer sharing with peer, and peer assessment is very important. So give them the exercises and the job work in such a way where he can come back with his findings and share it with the entire class. Then comes the part again, the explanation. Yes, the explain part. This is where I was saying that where he is able to explain it, what he has find out, what he has learned. After going for the explaining part, of course, we are going to the elaboration part. This is where the elaboration means the child can able to connect with the real life situation. Remember, learning or utilizing or using English language is very important when it comes to application in their day-to-day life, because this is where our motto lies, that the child should be able to communicate effectively on a day-to-day basis. So this is, we have to create and chalk out such situations where he can actually elaborate and connect with it. Like I'll give an example. Since I'm talking about the how the world works, so the adjective part. So I gave them, like, since they were already doing UOI, and in UOI they were finding about planets. So I once they discovered about the planets and their descriptions. So here they were able to elaborate and said, yes, the sun is bright yellow in color. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Mercury is a green color planet. Pluto is a dwarf planet. So let them describe and utilize it. That's where the elaboration part comes. And finally, the evaluation, the self evaluation, the self reflection is very important. I have seen a child can really say how far he has learned and where he is struggling. Before we evaluate them and we say, okay, this much you don't know. Generally, we do it obviously with standardized tests, like, okay, that he has scored this much and he doesn't know. But trust me, a child is able to say that, this is, ma'am, this is where I am lagging. This is where my concept is not clear. I've seen that doing that. Every child can say, oh, I did not, understand this part. So Take that reflection, ask him, and again go back and let him, find out and work on it more. We can always give that support instead of just, feeding him that, yes, this is the thing, this you have to do, work on it, learn, memorize, and do it away. All right, so I'll come to the next part, because after the strategies, obviously, I was talking about the reflection part where the assessment comes. So, my challenge as a teacher always remains like, how do I assess? How to assess it? Of course, we are taking, in traditionally we are taking all the assessments like standardized test, class tests, surprise tests. It's going on, the final exam, the half yearly exam, this is going on. But in the process, we are forgetting to really assess the child. Without even taking the test, we can do that in various other ways. Like during the learning only, during the lesson only, you can always take formatives, like we used to do it. The formatives I used to generally take in the form of quizzes. Maybe I used to just ask them, okay, let's have a quiz. And children love quiz shows like anything. So one class I used to devote on the same topic. Okay, I'll ask this, I'll ask that, and they're so excited to see. Maybe sometimes a board walk, write down and ask them, yes, can you please come and do that? And they will love to come and write it. One activity I remember I have always done it, that is I made them the teacher and I became the student. And when the role was reversed, they used to enjoy like anything. I used to write a sentence, and sometimes a wrong one, and I used to tell them that give me thumbs up and thumbs down. And I used to point out students to tell if it is thumbs up or thumbs down. And when it's a wrong one, they used to tell me, yes, it's thumbs down, ma'am, this is wrong, this is not the right answer. So this was my way of continuous assessment I was doing with them. Yes, of course, we have definitely the summatives where we are actually checking them. But when it comes to this little activity, our formatives are already done. Yes, then finally, when we are doing it, we know the adapting part as a teacher I'm coming into is the where I really need to see the kind of learners I'm having. Like every classroom has, we know we have the advanced learner, the progressive learners, and the beginners, of course. But this is where, as a teacher, my role comes that the beginners should not be lagging behind, because often it happens as a teacher, of course, the advanced learners tends to take our attention more because they are the more demanding one, they're coming up more, they're giving the answer, and we tend to give our attention more towards them. But my point always remain that we have to keep assessing the beginners one, or I say the ones who are actually not able to pick that up so fast. So we should not keep them leaving behind, we have to go together. So I used to apply different, and like everyone, I'm sure everyone is doing that, the differentiation techniques come there when it is very handy. And how do I help? Obviously the peer assessment and the peer help comes a lot of help. Like I used to bring, okay, one child coming and sharing, let the other class, the entire class, respond to it, understand it better. However, sometimes what happens, the peer tutoring helps. Okay, a weaker one is there, I'm also sitting, and then another one is there, the one who's an advanced learner. Let him explain, let him talk. But make sure that the other one, the advanced one, what happens generally, sometimes children gets, too bossy, and they tend to understand that, yes, I know more than the other, and they tend to be more dominating or more bossy. Make sure that it is not happening, or the weaker ones don't feel that, okay, I know lesser. So that kind of feeling should not be coming in. So the differentiation method that I am using should be equally empowering for all three levels, and it should not feel anyone to be left out, because each child deserves to feel that he's special, and the learning should take place as per their understanding. So we have to go accordingly. Once my strategies are there, definitely how would I, the next target comes, of course, how have I achieved my goal? How do I measure it? I was again talking, yes, the formatives takes place, the summatives are there, now the reflection. Now formatives or summatives doesn't mean that always it has to be in the form of exam. It can be anything that they can apply it in their day-to-day life, and I can take it in various forms. Like I've already given an example of formatives where the child was actually, talking about maybe how he felt while doing the, experiment. Probably that is also kind of formative. He's narrating it. So when he's narrating it, he's using a language that is a formative. I remember once I asked them to plant a tree and, observe them and write a journal entry for 15 days on the development of the plant. And they did that. They made a journal entry. So this was also connecting with my English thing, because they're expressing in their own language. That was the formative. Summatives, of course, for juniors, summatives, we usually give it a very interesting one that they can connect with it. They love to do activities, the learning based anything. So for juniors, we do that like in the form of presentations. I used to give in the forms of finding out, in the form of making their models and then expressing themselves in the languages, sometimes making of, writing songs and expressing themselves with the music. So that is also, used to help me as summative, and the children loved, based on the theme, writing songs and expressing themselves. Yes, but for the middle years, of course, the senior ones, the summatives can be in the form of not only, of course, presentations. We can arrange some debate shows, some panel discussions, maybe writing down of the assembly script. We can do them like, yes, you write the assembly script with the theme of save nature or save climate, and how will you go about it. Sometimes it can be a drama script or role plays. We can go for pair work, make them sit in pairs or maybe in groups, let them chalk out and let them, present it as a project. The third part, the reflection, as I was already sharing, that reflection is very important. A child can himself say how far his learning has gone. So when you ask him, yes, this is what is your learning, how did you feel, which part you did not like it, keep taking the feedbacks. Keep taking. Maybe sometimes I used to keep a form, okay, in front of them, and I used to ask them, okay, tell me, how will you go about it, how did you feel about it, what is that one thing you learned, what is that one thing you did not learn, or what is that one thing you did not like about it. Or sometimes I used to play a game called, two roses one thorn. So that was very interesting for the kids. I remember two roses one thorn. That's, they used to write about two things about the chapter they liked more, and one thing they disliked about was the part which they did not understand, or maybe the question that was really incomplete in their mind. So that is something. So as I have written the quote, which I always refer to, that learning is never the product of teaching. Like what we are teaching cannot be said that yes, we have successfully taught every child. Learning is only the product of the activity that the learners have done. So it's always a child who is learning continuously by himself when he is experiencing that. So whenever he's experiencing something, then only it's learning. Even in case of language also, communication also, when he's experiencing something, when he's learning something, when he's writing it down, that is only his real learning taking place. Now, just I would like to share about the reflection part. This is something I think I should be sharing with all.
Sumaira, would you like to take a pause and read some of the wonderful comments that we have? People are posting.
Okay. Okay. Is it? I am not able to actually see
Just
that.
I will just yeah, stop sharing. We have some wonderful comments. So
Okay.
let's start with the game which you left. So
Okay, sincere
yeah,
Shams. Okay, that's
Shams
great.
wrote soft-hearted Shams.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that is very unique.
Then Patrick joined us from Kenya, and yeah, Patrick is also reflecting throughout. He wrote that
Okay,
language is a common item in the education process. Whatever we hear has a great effect than what we see.
very
Then
true.
we have Hayat joining us from Tunisia. Then we have Xenia joining us from Bangladesh. And Nusrat is agreeing with you that curiosity leads to self initiated inquiry. Then again, Patrick wrote something amazing. We learn to speak by listening to the sounds created by people around us and let it attach meaning to the sounds. Finally, we take this sound and relate it to a written text. It is not an easy process. Yes, it is
Yes, it
very
is.
complicated, and that's
That
what
is
we are
why
like.
if you see, like, phonetics have been introduced as a separate subject now, which were not present earlier. So this is, relating with the sounds. I really agree. Yes.
And then we have Matt Osa Ezekar. She is appreciating you like anything. She has
Thank
joined us
you.
from
Thank
London.
you. It's my honor.
And she has written that she's loving your strategies to boost confidence and self-esteem. And then many comments from her. She's saluting the excellence and diversity of approach. She loved
Thank
the way you said that each child deserves to feel they are special. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
This
Thank you.
is
Yes. This is what we have to give them
yeah.
back.
Nusrat wrote that giving multiple choice questions give them independence and pride of their learning.
True. I have seen that. Children loving that. And when you make it more confusing, it's more brainstorming for them. So it,
Then
it works
again,
as a wonder.
yeah,
Yes.
Matt Osa wrote that how I wish most teachers take a similar approach of Sumaira's teaching method, detailed, compassionate, and informed. Love when Sumaira said learning is the product of activity of the student.
Thank
Great,
you.
thank you so much for your kind words.
Yes. That's very
The next
touching.
person is Matthew from LinkedIn. Great.
Okay,
Good to
Matthew,
have you.
welcome. Good to see you. We know Matthew, no? He's always been a woman advocate. So thank you, Matthew, for joining in.
Thank you so much for your wonderful comments. And yeah, okay, I'm a male. Yeah, welcome, Matthew. Actually, we were confused with the name. All
Okay.
right, great to have you.
Yes.
Yeah, Sumara, you can get started. These were the
Yeah, that
comments, and it
gave
was
me a
wonderful to
really
share
lots
with
of,
you.
I'll just share some of the lessons I have learned and some of the takeaways, like I say that I'm just going to share some things that I have been practicing throughout. I think this is, but yes, please share if you have any ways to make my learning experience better. I'm always there. So, the key takeaways so far, what I have learned, so far, I would like to share. Always make learning fun and not a burden. This is one thing I have learned, because the children sometimes happens like the teacher enters and they say, "Oh no, she's back." This sound should not be coming. You must enter the classroom and the teachers and the children should be welcoming you warmly. And sometimes you might be seeing, the period starts and you are about to enter the class maybe a little late, and children will be waiting at the door. I have seen that happening, and they will otherwise rush to the staff room. "Ma'am, this is your class." This shows that the child is eager to learn. He's looking forward to have you in his class. So make learning fun. Lots of activities, it goes. Have fun in the classroom. It should not be. We know as a teacher, yes, we are going through a lot of things. We have deadlines. We have so many meetings to attend. We have so many, pressure to do both at home. It's understandable. But once you enter the classroom, you should just devote that time with the children. Make them the best of, give them the best of experience. So the second point, as I say, keep the child alive video. Yes, once we are becoming dead and old, I think the child cannot connect with us any longer. If you are teaching a child, be that child. Get into the activity, enjoy with him. If you're teaching a teenager, be as vibrant and bubbly as them, because they are full of life. They have started to see the life from a different angle. Start feeling like them, think with them, align with them. It's not that, okay, it never happened in our times, oh, today's children are like that. I see that happening, but I try to connect with their thoughts that yes, even I was like them once while I was of their age. So I try to understand. Thirdly, empathize, empathize, empathize. This has been my keyword throughout. If you cannot empathize with the child will never like your class, will never will never be taking the interest to learn. Because I can understand there are different kinds of learners we have in our class. Maybe there is a child who can finish his work in 10 minutes, and there is another child for whom maybe the 30 minutes is also not sufficient. Learn to give that space and time to that child. We don't know what is he battling, what is he striving. I know I have to meet my deadlines, I know I have syllabus to complete, it's a huge one, but we have to empathize with the child. Why do we forget to do that? Maybe he's going through something else at home. We don't know what he's going through. So try to find out, empathize. Yes, the fourth one, I would say again, a little appreciation goes a long way. If it can create magic in we adults, imagine how much impact it can have on children. Trust me, I have seen even the naughtiest one children who used to never sit in the class for 2 minutes, started taking interest in doing the activities and worksheets and working and doing his home assignment just because of this appreciation. Give a smiley. I just used to give a smiley. Okay, smiley on their hand before going back home. Or okay, who has completed their work, who has been a good child, just give a smiley. I think these create wonders. Give them stars, give them some motivation to continue with their good work. I think this appreciation can really make a huge difference in a child's life. And finally, my takeaways will be that I will always continue to be a lifelong learner. And I will say the same to all the teachers, because we can never finish learning as long as we are dealing with different generations. Because what we used to do 5 years back with the children are no longer applicable with today's children, because in this 5 years the generation has changed, the era has changed, time has changed, children have changed. So we have to keep updating ourselves. We cannot be going into the comfort zone and saying, okay, I have done it, I have learned it, and this is applicable for all child. It can never be applicable. Trust me, we have to keep adapting with it. So we have to be a continuous lifelong learner. And this is how we can eventually grow and make a difference. Remember, it's we who are actually making a difference and building the future of tomorrow's generation. So we cannot be doing that with yesterday's technique. We have to think like them, we have to be like them, we have to give them the best of experience and then learn the best of ways to face the world. And well, I have nothing else to say. I will just sum up, because no matter whatever technique I share, whatever technique whoever shares, I always say that the best teachers always teach from the heart. So no matter what techniques you're applying, as long as you are teaching from the heart and not from the book or any by following any blind method, I think you are a great teacher, and everyone is, because they are making a huge difference to this world. Every teacher, whoever, as long as teaching from the heart, is really a greatest teacher, because I think we are the best fraternity. I mean, we are making a difference, we are building tomorrow. I think nobody can actually repay a teacher. I always say the salary, the money that we are getting is nothing compared to what we are doing. We are making a huge difference. So I would just like to end by saying a big thank you to everyone for watching me and the ways that I have just shared, and for making a huge difference. Yes, anything else?
Thank you so much, Sumaira. It was wonderful. I have some brilliant comments for you. Let's make you happy and let's give you a dose of appreciation. So, yeah,
Thank you.
again, Matthew wrote, I'm pronouncing it right, Matthew. Yeah, we
Yeah,
welcome you to the community. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments and appreciation. Yes, this will go a long way with Sumaira. He is actually agreeing with you that Sumara, you are right. No child should say that, oh no, she's back. But sadly, this is a common state of most students. They transfer this attitude to the subject. Absolutely right, Sumara. Then Nusrat is agreeing with you that motivation helps them to complete their task faster. Yes.
always.
And Sumara's, your ideas are brilliant. They are worth
Thank
borrowing.
you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And again, Matthew, give a smile, give them stars, give them some appreciation. It will make a difference in a child's life. Sumara, you are indeed a treasure tutor. Thanks for
Thank
making the difference. Then we have thank you, Ms. Sumaira, for a resourceful presentation. Amazing, brilliant comments. Thank you, everyone, for appreciating her and being so lively throughout the event. Initially, when you were not there, we were actually bored, and now we are able to make connection that whatever we are talking is relevant to each one of you. As Sumaira said, that we belong to that fraternity which was making a difference. So we are the change maker. And Sumaira, I'm so glad to have you. And again, I would say you spoke from your heart. So it was not at all a boring presentation. You were afraid of it. But no,
Yes,
it
I
was not,
was. I just
because
shared.
you were talking about your experiences, and all
Mm.
experiences are beautiful. We learn from our experiences, and it was completely an amazing, great presentation. We all could connect with you, And yes, I have a small token of appreciation for you. Just allow me to share the screen.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Please go ahead. It's an honor indeed. And I would like to tell everyone, because most of them were not present. Let me tell you all, Miss Asnaha Farheen is an idol. And I was very nervous to, just come to this show. Okay, thank you so much. It means a lot getting this from her, because presenting in front of her was actually a great honor for me. So it really means a lot. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sumaira, for your great appreciation. We are just learners, and there's a long, long way to go. And I would love to have you again because, we have very few people, those who are ready to share. And if we are sharing,
Yes,
actually, we are strengthening our knowledge. So, this platform has been
exactly.
created for each one of us. Please feel free to ping me. I sometimes I choose people, sometimes they approach me, and that's how it's going on. And it's
I know.
actually a journey, and a great platform. So these days I'm getting requests. Some people are saying like book a space for us. We are going to
Right,
come. So it's
right.
growing gradually, and I would love to have any one of you, whoever is watching us and whoever will watch us later. This is
Yes,
your space, a safe space to share ideas, a safe space to learn, and there are no mistakes because we are educators. We do mistakes, and
absolutely.
it's okay. It's
And
okay.
it's all experiences, as we say.
Yeah.
Yes, it's either a lesson or a blessing. Either the child is taking lessons from us or we are learning from them. So this is how it goes. And I think I would love to come back to this platform again and again, because this is a great one. And I think the way you have grown, the kind of impact you have, let me tell you all, it's huge. And I have such admiration for her. So I would love to come back again and again. So it's a great platform, and I'm glad that I could share some of my ideas with you all, some of my learnings. And I think, yes, I would love to come and share with you all every time, because I'm still learning and growing, and I want to learn from you all as well and keep growing and keep enhancing. So please keep sharing. I hope some new people will also keep coming, and we will get to know so much from them.
We are so proud of you, Sumaira, and I can't express in word that how engaging and enlightening it was. You just rocked it and you nailed it. It was all amazing. And again, people are thanking you.
Thank
People
you.
are
Thank you,
thanking me.
Patrick.
And I'm thanking you all, by the way. Why? Because you all are here on a weekend. Who is, interested in attending a
Yes, this
webinar?
is what. Yes, just on
Yeah,
a weekend, people have spared their time to come. I think that means a lot. Thank you so
yeah.
much once again.
So here is a small token of appreciation for all of you. There's an exit ticket. Please fill the form so that you can receive a memo from our side, a beautiful certificate. And thank you so much, Sumera. Gratitude, full of gratitude I am because it was amazing. The way you
Thank
were throughout the session, very organic and so natural. I loved it. Thank you so much
you
for
so
all
much.
your
Thank
words
you.
of
And I would
gratitude.
like to wish you and all the viewers a very happy Mother's Language Day in advance. So let's all work on making this world a better place to live in, and by using good communication languages. So let's emphasize more on that, because that's the power of words. We can change through the words and with the pens. So let's make a difference.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Hope, yes, we will be sharing some of the snapshots on the LinkedIn as well. And do connect
Yes.
with us again. And yes, I'm sitting in Bangladesh. What's so special about Bangladesh? Because these are the people, those who have started a fight for the language. So understand how important it is. And it was later adopted by UNESCO. And now the entire world celebrates International Mother Language Day. So I'm sitting in Bangladesh, and tomorrow we will be observing it because
No.
this is a morning festival over here, so like they have a different way of celebrating it, and it's a learning for me that I got to know like what is the history behind this day. So it's
Absolutely.
great to
Great
be
salute.
here.
I would just like to salute all the Bangladeshis for starting this revolution where we actually learn to value the mother tongue. Because honestly speaking, I would say we have seen many of the children still coming and sharing that they're not very comfortable in mother tongue and they feel more inclined to English. Though I'm an English educator, I have seen that happening. So this is something we need to tell and teach everyone, that respect your mother tongue first, and then of course English is a language of communication. We have to learn it, we have to love it.
And something that I could find that 40% of the world's population is not having an access to the learning material in their own language. So it's something which
Very
is really,
challenging.
really thought provoking. That how will they
Yes,
make connection? If like being an adult, being in a foreign land, it was difficult for me to make that connection. And language matters a lot. So having an
absolutely
access to the mother language, celebrating it makes a lot of difference.
different. And
Saying
we can
this,
understand
I'll
that.
say bye bye to everyone. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining
Bye
us
bye.
today. It was a first working day for me, and I think for many of you, it was a weekend. So it's a
Yes.
great get together. Thank you so much, Sumaira. See you
Thank you.
all again next week. And next week, we have with us Miss Raina, and she's going to talk about teachers stand tall in these changing and challenging times. So see you again next week. Have a great day ahead.
Okay.